So Arsenal are out of the Europa League. A very disheartening loss as a spectator. We already spoke about the fact that we don't really care whether Arsenal progress too much, but when you lose in this manner, going all the way through extra time and losing in penalties, especially when you've put up a fairly decent performance, right? Arsenal were, no matter what you say, Arsenal were the better team overall. We created the better chances, just didn't put them to bed. And Sporting made their way back into the game through an absolute screamer. I know a lot of people are going to talk about this, so let's discuss this first. Is Aaron Ramsdale to blame for that goal?
No chance. I mean, that's a one-off goal. You don't really see those goals going in. It's an anomaly, to be very honest. It's
Yeah,
not something that teams set up to do. Players are aware. Awareness is generally higher, I agree. But those attempts going in, or those attempts even yielding on a shot on target from that longer distance, it goes in, it doesn't go in. You never know. Sometimes the ball just bounces off the crossbar. Sometimes the keeper is able to put his hand to it. This time, neither happened and the ball went in. So I wouldn't blame Ramsdale at all.
yeah, and he got really, really close. Like at that point, it had to be absolutely perfect to go in. So again, it's a very hard chance to like really put in. But that was their way in, and they did create some other good chances as well. And Ramsdale was called into action a couple of times, made some incredible saves. But the big reason why Arsenal lost was that Sporting CP goalkeeper, right, Adan. I mean, my oh my, he had
Immense.
such a good game, man. He was
He was
so good
immense.
today.
He
Yeah.
was immense. And looking at how Sporting played, they still had lesser possession than we did, which was expected since we were playing at home. But I think they are trying to make the most of what they had. The game was an even game. I think either side could have won it within the regular time, since both sides had good chances, and kudos to great goalkeeping and defending. But I think the penalties, Ramsdale did go the right direction twice.
Twice, yeah. He got his
Yes,
hands on one of them as well, but couldn't save
exactly.
it.
Exactly. So it's not as if he fluffed everything. And Gabby unfortunately didn't couldn't do it. Like, he put it right to the keeper.
Yeah,
That some penalties again a 50-50. You can't really blame it. Sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. As long as it's a shot on target. I'm just glad it was a shot on target. I'm just glad nobody missed their shot on target. That's what's more important in a penalty. I think
yeah,
he did that.
yeah. And again, it's hard to take a lot of bad away from this performance.
Mhm.
My biggest talking point though is I really wanted to discuss Fabio Vieira because we are on opposite sides of this argument. I do think over the last few games he has been better. He played well in that first leg against Sporting as well, and he played well in the match. I think he came up against Bournemouth, and I think he was pretty effective there as well. And sorry, not Bournemouth. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Fulham.
Fulham.
And he had good moments in this match as well, but I just feel like he doesn't have that cutting edge. He doesn't have that final piece of the puzzle. He can't finish or he can't make the right decisions in the last minute, in the last second, in the last act of the game, which is the biggest problem for me. And again, you can give him 70 minutes on the pitch, but I felt like he should have come off a lot sooner. I think part of the reason he stayed on was because Arteta probably just figured
Did
there
not
was
want
a
to play Odegaard.
exactly, yeah, he
Yeah.
really didn't want to play Odegaard unless he absolutely had to. And then the moment we went into extra time, he was like, okay, let's throw Odegaard in. And in the 30 minutes that he was on, Odegaard was on, Arsenal looked like we were in complete control throughout extra time and probably should have had a
True.
goal if not two.
Should have,
um,
definitely.
and a lot of that came from the fact that Odegaard was a lot more decisive in his passing than Vieira was. So that's where I stand on Vieira. I still think there is a lot more he needs to work on, but he has shown a little bit more promise for me. Where do you stand on him still?
I mean, again, at this point, when I look at Fabio Vieira, I think he's doing the right things. I agree. He is lacking in certain departments, and that is going to be some cause of concern. But for someone who's just signed over the summer, I think he's doing incredibly well. And some of these mistakes are bound to happen. Maybe not today, probably 2 weeks from now. You never know. I would still be okay with that as long as he's trying, or we see the commitment to the cause, which I think we did. So sometimes you just have to roll with the punches and deal with whatever you have. And if that means some sort of indecisiveness on the final third, so be it. But we have other players. It's not just one player to do the job. And I think overall, Sporting were just a little bit better than Arsenal today, and which is why it resulted in a victory to them. Kudos to them. I'm not really sad by this result. I mean, I am, but it's like we have a bigger agenda or we have something else that's on our radar. I know Mikel won't say that, and obviously he shouldn't because he's the manager, and he's even openly said it out that players at this highest level should know how to play
Mhm.
a game every 3 days. This is just the level that clubs should be operating at least elite clubs like Arsenal. And maybe this is just a toothing challenge in that direction, and it serves as impetus for us to improve even better in the coming days and in the new season as well, or
Yep.
rather in the next season. So, okay,
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Apologies for my cat meowing away. He seems to be hungry.
that's
Still
all
not
right.
his food time though, by the
Meow.
way. But yeah, I mean, this really makes it so that Arsenal, out of all other competitions, the Premier League is the only place that we need to focus on now. And we will talk about that Crystal Palace game coming up soon and what Arsenal's options are, because Tomiyasu went out injured, which seems a little bit more serious. And so was Saliba, which we don't have a
Saliba.
lot more information on, but we should hopefully know more about that. Let us know what you
Yes,
guys think about
boss.
this result. Was this like a major setback for Arsenal? Is this something we kind of expected? Do you care that Arsenal are out of the Europa League at all or not? And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. We have seen a lot more attention towards the channel, and every little bit helps. So please go ahead, like, please go ahead and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.